Rise with sunrise. The ladies are making your day of love extra special. Our first stop is in the kitchen for a Valentine's Day breakfast. Catch the love boat. It's time to get cozy with a sunrise love story. Then we'll sail away to some saxophone melodies. We'll wrap things up with Morgan Heritage royalty. Jameer Morgan. He'll make your morning a little sweeter. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Take control of your energy whenever and wherever.
JPS, powering what matters. The time by the My JPS app is
9 o'clock.
The following program has been rated PG-13 and is suitable for viewers over the age of 13 years.
Daddy shark, do 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 do. Daddy shark, do 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 do. You must say I wonder what me really are saying. But guess what? I am in my nursery rhyme era right now because as a father, it is so important that you know nursery rhymes. I wonder Carlton nursery rhymes though. Where are going? Where are deal with? But guess what, guys? Today we are in a different kind of corner office. A kids-friendly kind of corner office. Today, we are at a healthcare provider. I asked the Carlton healthcare provider, yes, the father in me really today is excited because when you can find healthcare for your children, for your kids, in a unique kind of way, you will understand. And I'm sure the parents who are watching right now, those who have children, young children who have gone through that stage, you know how important it is to get good healthcare, accessible healthcare, and in a unique kind of way with friendly kind of people. And guess what? We are here today at We Are Kids Urgent Care. And for me, I'm excited. So guess what? Find out. Come with me. Guess what? The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round. Hey, may I sing, you know? May I sing? All right, let's go now. I said the wheels on the bus go round and round. Round and round, round and round, the wheels on the bus. Good day, sir.
Good day, how are you doing?
You don't have to ask, you hear me I sing? Happy, my happy. I'm so happy this morning. How are you doing though?
I'm not bad, I'm grateful.
All right, good stuff. I'm going to see Dr. Franklin Banton.
Dr.
Tell her it's
Banton?
Carlton from Corner Office. We're here today because I want to talk some good things about that.
Okay.
Let you know for me, please, I'm here.
Okay, no problem.
Good stuff.
Hello.
Hello, Doc. How are you doing?
I am well.
My name is Carlton.
Hi, Carlton. Welcome, 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 and welcome to my corner office.
And I'm so happy to be in your corner office. You know why? Tell me why you think we have to be in your corner office.
I wonder, is that you have kids?
All right, 2 minutes to come.
Oh my goodness.
But that is very, very good.
Lovely,
I'm
lovely.
excited. So let's jump right into it because I'm so excited to hear about We Are Kids, the urgent care, and everything surrounding your operation. I want to hear about it today. So let's go in. Check out the new corner office on the inside here.
Let's go.
Wonderful. This is the examination room.
It is.
Doc, can I?
Please, make
Right now,
yourself comfortable.
I feel like I'm patient right now. But it's the bed that the kids sometimes fear, you know. But it's cool, a lot of things happening on this side, but when you put the kids on this thing, they're twisting, they're turning, they're all over the place.
But I really try to keep them calm, and surprisingly, when they walk in here, they are, they're really calm. Yes.
Have you ever noticed when your kids are not well, when they're ill, you bring them to the pediatrician?
They're better.
Once they step foot inside the room, automatically, I don't know, something in the air.
No, it's a real thing, and that's one of the things that I tell people when they walk in here. It's like when you take your car to the mechanic, it's usually good again.
Yes.
So when they walk in here, a lot of times they're like, "Oh my goodness, this child was coughing just now."
Fevers,
Not a cough.
not a cough
Yes,
anymore.
yes.
It's a magic formula, and I like that very much because obviously pediatricians, they are doing something well, they're doing something good. There's something about the aura, the entire atmosphere of you doctors. I don't know how.
And it's funny that you should say that you find that pediatricians are, there's something about them, because that's actually why I want to be a pediatrician.
Nice.
Because of my pediatrician. There was just something about Auntie Esther. Auntie Esther had the calmest spirit ever.
Nice.
And I was like, boy, you know, when I grow up, I want
be
to
like-
be
just like
her.
Auntie
So I
Esther.
didn't want to be a doctor. I want to be a pediatrician,
Nice.
just like Auntie Esther.
Alright, speaking
Just
of which
had
then,
that spirit.
so that's true. Speaking of which then, I made an accent. So I said, that not sound kind of Jamaica, it's on Caribbean though. I was wondering, you know, where are we with that accent? And then when you tell me where that accent is, walk me through the growing up part.
So you are hearing the accent, and I'm actually happy that you hear that accent.
It's keeping it
because-
roots still.
yes. So I am from Barbados. I grew
Nice.
up in Barbados, and you know, if somebody told me that I would be in Jamaica today, I would have said, no way. How would I going to end up in Jamaica? So I went to school in Barbados, and that's where I did my primary education and my secondary education.
Okay.
And so I remember when I was doing my A levels that I had applied to Mona.
Okay.
Because that was the only place that I thought did medicine in
yeah.
the Caribbean. But when I got back my results, even though I had done really well, I was actually a Barbados exhibition winner, which is like a scholarship winner. So I did really well.
Doctor, you're bright. You're bright, good dog. Don't play it down.
Kinda. So I thought it was automatic that I would be on that list of names that was accepted to Mona. But guess what?
You weren't accepted?
I was not. I remember that day clearly. Like, I was devastated. Like, how could I not be accepted? I mean, there were persons who my results were better than theirs, and they were on the list, and I wasn't on the list. How was that possible?
How do you navigate that? I'm so intrigued now to hear the story.
I know I didn't have a plan B because I was so sure I was going to get into medicine at Mona. But I don't know, I think my mom kind of spoke to someone, and somehow my application ended up at St. Augustine. I didn't even know that St. Augustine in Trinidad did medicine. I had no idea. But I was then told, okay, well, there's a space here at St. Augustine, would you take it? And I was like, well, I don't have much of a choice. So I spoke to someone who was already at St. Augustine, and they were like, you know, the program is pretty good. It's a new program, but we do things a little different, but I think you should give it a try. And because I didn't have a plan B, I was like, okay, well, let's give it a try.
But Doc, you realize that every rejection is for a redirection?
Absolutely.
And I'm sure your life is a testament.
It is.
Of
It
that.
absolutely is. It absolutely is. So I go to Trinidad, and I'm getting settled into Trinidad, and then my dad calls and he's like, Lisa, there was actually a mistake. You are accepted to
Mona?
And I was like, you know what?
It's joking making.
Yeah, they are.
It's joking
Because
making.
I'm already settled into Trinidad. I had a nice little place that I was staying. I was like, you know what? I'm going to stay here. And then soon after, I met my future husband.
It was, I'm going to take a wild guess here. The future husband brought you to Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Look at this, look at this, look at this.
Absolutely.
You were
so that's
meant.
the reason
Yes.
I ended up in
In
Jamaica
Jamaica.
because of him.
Come rise with sunrise. The ladies are making your day of love extra special. Our first stop is in the kitchen for a Galentine's Day breakfast. Catch the love boat. It's time to get cozy with a sunrise love story. Then we'll sail away to some saxophone melodies. We'll wrap things up with Morgan Heritage Royalty. Jameer Morgan. He'll make your morning a little sweeter. You've never seen a sunrise quite like this.
Wagwan people, it's episode 4, you know, and things are only getting hotter and hotter this season. Them place I'm pass every day. My friend,
Good morning. I am so excited because we're going to Church on a Rock.
I really experienced God at Church on the Rock.
Listen, we're going to a church that if you never hear about it, is because your ears were closed.
When I see my problems. This is the Aedes aegypti mosquito that spreads the Zika, chikungunya, and dengue viruses. Search for its breeding sites and destroy them.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The Time by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
So you went to Trinidad, you did your med studies there.
Right, so I did my pre-clinicals, which is the first, so med school was 5 years. So I did my first 3 years in Trinidad, and then I went back to Barbados where I completed my final 2 years, which were my clinical years. So during those years, we go on the wards and we get more hands-on approach. So I went back to Barbados. And then I was given an opportunity to do my internship in Nassau. So I've been all over.
So you say you're doing island hopping?
I did.
That must be fun.
I did, and Nassau was a lovely experience. And it was there that I think the love for pediatrics was cemented.
When you do medicine, I don't know, you can maybe walk me through. Do you specialize early on in the program, or you do general stuff and then you say I want to be a pediatrician?
So you actually do general stuff first. So you have to do your 5 years of study.
Is it general?
Right.
Okay.
And then you do an internship period, and during that internship period, you start to rotate through the different major specialties. So you do 3 months in internal medicine, 3 months in pediatrics, 3 months in surgery, 3 months in obstetrics and gynecology.
And then you narrow it down.
Right, and then you get a 6-month period. Well, when I was doing my internship, I think it's a little different now. You get a 6-month period where you can do whatever, something that you loved.
But having tried the hands at different things for the 3 months, what about pediatric, this area that stood out, that cemented the love? What about it?
The kids, they are amazing. And you know, when kids are sick, you know they're sick.
Correct.
And when they're better,
you know they're better.
Yes. Whereas with adults, they're always sick.
Yes.
Something always hurting.
Something.
Is that you can never fix the problem. And I just loved being around kids. They were just amazing.
Nice. So speaking about kids, you mentioned you met your husband and you came to Jamaica. How did we get here into this wonderful country we call Jamaica?
I was in Trinidad, then I went to Barbados, he was in Jamaica, and then I went to Nassau, he was in Holland, and we were just all over the place. Yeah. And then he was like, okay, well, if this is going to make sense, clearly we can't be all over the place. I know you want to do pediatrics. There's a pediatric residency program here at Mona, and he led the charge. He's like, I'm putting in your application. I'm going to speak to the head of department for you because I want you in Jamaica.
Yeah.
I was like,
good husband. Yeah, I love this for you.
All right, well, let's see. And I got through. So initially I wasn't accepted. I was allowed to do a 6-month period of a senior house officer because they didn't have any post in the pediatric residency program. But I said, okay, I'll still try. And I came and I was here for 6 months and I worked in the pediatric department. And again, it was like, yeah, man. This is for me. Yes.
I love that. So who would have thought from the little girl in Barbados who wants to be like her pediatrician, when you made it in Jamaica, you know, pediatrician, looking back, what did you say to yourself?
Well, first of all, I was leaving my family in Barbados, and I remember specifically my dad was like, he wasn't the happiest of persons, like, how am I leaving Barbados? And you know, I didn't know anything much about Jamaica. I was literally leaving all of my family behind to come to Jamaica, and I was like, well, you know, I just have to give it a try. I came here and the doctors in the pediatric department, they were really welcoming. I remember my chief resident, they just made it so easy to just get into the program. And as I said, I just have a love for kids, so I really enjoyed it. So I just immersed myself.
Immersed. And speaking of immersed, I want to immerse into present day now. But give me one of the biggest struggles you had completing that program to getting here to start. The biggest challenge you found while going through studies to get where you are.
Boy, the truth, I tell people that those 4 years of my life in the residency program were some of the roughest, if not the roughest 4 years that I went through. They were rough, they were long hours. Like you go to work 9 o'clock one day and you go back home late in the night the following day. So during that time, my husband and I, we got married, and I actually got pregnant with my first child in the 2nd year of my program. And I always knew I wanted to have a family, always, like, love kids. And I knew that I didn't want to necessarily put my family life on hold. But what I didn't realize is how much of a juggle it would have been to do a residency program and to have kids. It was rough.
I want to get into that balancing act because I'm just imagining going to residency with a child, then running a business now, in the here and now. I want to get to know more about that balancing act as a superwoman. Let's talk further now. I want to see the place. I want to see how things are happening now. How did you start your business here in Jamaica? I also want to know more because I'm excited. Let's find out.
So these are our examination rooms.
Okay.
So they're all similarly placed.
Oh, similar like how this one
right.
was
So, but
designed.
when you come, so that patients are in their own space,
Okay.
you don't feel as though you're everybody, you know. So you're in your own space. And this is a lab that we have. So we can do, you know, some testing on site, like your CBCs and your other tests,
Okay.
so that you don't have to go to a lab somewhere else. I could do the test
Okay,
here, and I
nice.
can tell you what is going on and make some decisions without you having to go somewhere. And yeah, and these
Examination
are
room again.
yes.
Okay.
And then we have the patient bathroom, and this is just a little consultation area here around the back.
Walk me through. You are at UWI working. When did you decide that here what? I need to start my own thing.
Well, growing up, my dad was a land surveyor and he had his own corner office. So I know what it's like to have your own corner office. And after I left the program, I knew that I wanted to be in charge of me. That I wanted to be in charge of my time. I didn't want to be dictated as to when I can leave, when I can come, when I can take vacation, I have to hand in. I want to know that when I'm ready to go and spend time with my kids and my family, I can put things in place, and I did that. So I always knew that I wanted my own corner office. And I remember writing that down on the paper one day, saying one day I want to own a well-established pediatric practice here in Jamaica.
That principle alone, Doc, write the vision, make it clear up on the table of your heart. Is that a real thing, you know?
It is.
And sometimes people don't understand. They need to make things so plain and work towards it. So walk me through now.
It is. So I finished my pediatric residency, and as I said, I knew I didn't want to go back into hospital medicine. So I went and I worked with another pediatrician. She was looking for someone to help her out, and I went and I worked with her, and she was sort of like a mentor. So I was able then to see what a pediatric practice was like, what it took to build a pediatric practice, because that's not something that I learned when I was in school. I just learned hospital medicine. But being there with her, I was able to see the business aspect. What did I have to do? And then the opportunity arose where there was a pediatrician who was migrating, and she wanted somebody to sort of take over her practice.
And what happened? You jump into that role?
I did.
I wanted to say, it's one thing with business, you have to prepare. Opportunities, you have to prepare. Opportunity must need preparation to get the thing going. Because what if you weren't already being pre-trained or thinking ahead of time? As a business owner, as a corner office owner, it makes sense to prepare yourself for the next level every single time. That's a good tip right there. You may continue.
Absolutely. So the opportunity arose for me to take over that practice, and I just jumped right into it.
Ready for it.
I was.
Thanks to my Prime Minister for this opportunity. For me to be a homeowner.
I was living in a terrible condition for so many years. Thank you again.
We just try to make life goes on with the little that we have.
It is the aspiration of the government. It is what the government tries to do every day, to lift people out of poverty into a decent life. The new social housing program is a key component of the social safety net.
As I've always said, this is probably one of the most fulfilling programs for me, because you literally see the transformation of people's lives.
Ho, 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 ho.
CVM presents a special broadcast of the Stella Maris Dance Ensemble's Holiday Showcase on Thursday, February 13th at 9:30 p.m. Stay tuned after the cut and corner office and wind down with more entertainment and fun. See it happen on Thursday, February 13th at 9:30 p.m. only on CVM.
The med school, one of the things is that we were not taught to think business.
Yeah.
So when I started to run this practice now, it's like, hold on, I'm no longer a doctor, I'm an entrepreneur. I have to think it, I have to put things in place. So I also went and I did some courses. I remember I did Action Coach just for me to learn, okay, how do I run a proper business? Because as you said, if not, maybe 2 years into it, it would not
business
have been
flop and
there.
fail. And I was also plug here because I think that's one of the things that schools need to start putting in place. You're teaching me the math, you're teaching me the accounts, but really and truly there's more to it than just the book stuff. I'm gonna plug for the Money Masterclass as well because that's an amazing show that allows people to do what? Learn the money, the business side of real life. But jump back into the business, Doc. So you're running the business now for the first year. Where were you located at that time and what were you doing for the children at that time?
So the first practice I opened was at Manor Center, and it was just a pediatric practice. So, you know, you bring your kids for your regular checkups, your immunizations, ill visits as well, just looking after the well-being of kids. And that was sort of like a 9 to 5 job. So initially I was the only one there, and I realized, but hold on, I want to serve all these children, but I can't serve all these children by myself. So I started then to get other doctors coming on board so that we can open our hours later and we can be accessible to parents.
You really actually got school for sure. You got a business school because one thing with an entrepreneur in a business, you must recognize when there's a need in the business to grow and to scale the business. There's a big difference between growth and scaling of the business. Growth, you want more money, you want more things. But scaling is getting more out of the same amount of resources that you have. But you went for growth because our doctors started coming into the business, offering more services to more people. Big up yourself, entrepreneur again. Hey, you're a star, let me tell you. So you brought in more doctors, and then how the business started to perform?
Well, I mean, we had good business, but you know, then we went through COVID.
Yeah.
Woo. COVID was the real challenge because, of course, persons weren't necessarily coming to the doctor. At that time, I had to, you know, start to do some maneuvering. How do I turn around? Yeah. So I did a lot of telemedicine at that time, so that I still have to bring money into the business. And persons weren't coming to me, so I had to try and get to them. I'm finding other ways of still reaching my patients and making sure that they were feeling supported during this time.
Doc, you grew. And you know, start to diversify. The same thing you're offering up, but you know, diversifying. And again, as a good business owner, you have to recognize and know that when things not working out how you would have planned, you have to learn to pivot as a business owner, because we're not going to roll over and die. The Belgian in you is not going to roll over and die. And then influenced by the Jamaican around you, we're not going to roll over and just play dead. We have to pivot and allow the business to grow and to expand and to do their thing. So I know pediatricians see kids at what age group, just to make sure.
So we actually see babies from the time they come out. So a lot of us are actually present when that baby is delivering. That's how we get most of our patients, and they literally grow with you. I mean, I have some kids now, and I'm like,
looking up in their faces, huh? Yes.
Like, oh my goodness. And I think that's one of the joys that I enjoy about being a pediatrician, just watching these kids grow. So we see kids from birth and we see them up until 18, some of them until 23, 25, and then we have to literally run them out to the office. Okay, now it's time for you to get a big man, big woman now, go. Yes, you're bigger than me, please.
But Doc, it speaks to this kind of service that you are providing. And it's so important that when you're in a business, service is important. Recognizing that I have to give excellent service, good service, but when you have time for them, go, just run them out, just go and put in the business, not big people now. But the good thing is that I'm sure that these kids who are not adults will maybe carry their kids.
Yes.
To come back like a cycle.
Actually, I call myself a grand pediatrician. Like, oh my goodness, I'm aging. Like, some of my patients are bringing their kids. I'm like, am I really getting there? Yeah, I'm saying grand pediatrician.
As a big man,
yes, but it's true. That's what's happening.
Doc, I'm in this brand new, nice, crisp, clean space. This looks futuristic to me. Talk to me about where we are now, Doc. Talk to me about what's happening here. So what's the right about now? What is happening here?
So this is We Are Kids Urgent Care. So it's the different space, the layout is different, the services offered, they're similar, but they're after hour services.
Hold on, come in the room and look at it. After hours, let's not talk about after hours now, Doc. Because as a parent, you just want to ensure that you have access to healthcare, good healthcare any time of day or night, that kind of thing.
I'm at home many nights. I get parents calling me about sick kids, and I don't have anywhere to say, okay, go X, Y. There's nowhere to send them, and I'm like, hold on, why am I sending them somewhere? Why don't I create that space where they can come, where I am comfortable, and I know that they're not gonna have long waits, they're not sitting on the hospital bench, and that the care that they're getting is quality care.
Pause. Doc, you recognize that gap in the market.
I did.
And as the good businesswoman that you are, you got school in the doc, you go business school, and you plug that gap. And we're here now. And another point as well, Doc. You realize the kids get sick at night a lot? Why? I want them. Is the darkness? Why are they always sick in the night? Why not in the day?
And because of that, you have these anxious parents like, oh my goodness, I have to stay up with them throughout the night, or where can I take the kids? So yes, I saw that need and I said, I'm going to create a space where they're going to be able to come.
I love the uniqueness of this corner office. So while it is that you started and you are running the one in Manor Center, I'm especially excited about this one. I want the persons who are watching, parents, educators, anybody who is watching that has access to kids that need care for their children. Urgent care, they operate late hours. And that is something that is revolutionary right now here in Jamaica, because we do not have, or we did not have access to that, except maybe the public health system. Yes. So yeah, go on. I love that.
We're located at 218 Mountain View Avenue, which is just at the top of Mountain View across from Stanton Terrace. We're in close proximity to Bustamante Hospital, so if you have those urgent cases that still need hospitalization, you're just right there. Good. And we're open late in the night, so we're here from 2 until 10, Mondays until Saturdays. And then we're also open on Sundays, so we're here 10 until 6 on Sundays and 10 until 6 on holidays as well. Okay. So many holidays, there's nowhere open beside your hospitals, and we are open on holidays as well.
Nice. Hey, I'm not calling a sickness for nobody, but what I want people to recognize and to know that if you need the services, they are here. We are kids have created that corner office, which is so unique, so top of line, just next level. And speaking of next level, I want to know what, from a business mind, what's the next level you think you can take We Are Kids Urgent Care? What's next that you could offer that could change the landscape? Again, what you have in the pipeline?
Why, if I were to tell you what my biggest dream would be in terms of a pediatrician, I would like to create that space where you could now overnight. So a lot of times if kids have to be hospitalized, we go into, there's no private facility for our kids to be hospitalized. There's nowhere. And I mean, sometimes those conditions are less than ideal. And I believe that environment is everything. So I would love to create that environment where parents are comfortable having their kids being hospitalized and knowing that they are just in a space that just being in the space makes them feel as though, oh, I'm healed already. You know, takes away the anxiety, it takes away everything. So I would really love to be able to create that space one day.
And what are we going to do? Write the vision, make it clear. Doc, I am so inspired. You little girl who come from Barbados. Speaking of Barbados, you know the story, Rihanna?
Yes.
Tell me if you're Rihanna song. Tell me if you're Rihanna song. You can't mention Bass and you don't mention. Tell me a Rihanna song.
What is my probably umbrella? I love it.
You know, give me a line. You have even umbrella. Hey, exactly. Even you can't sing umbrella, you have provided an umbrella of services for children to just bask and to grow in. And I know that you have children as well, so it's near and dear to your heart. You find the time to provide healthcare to your children's school, to the soccer team. I mean, you just find the time for children, not even your own, but everybody else's kids will come to your house, and I love that fact. I am proud of your growth, and I'm hoping that when you sit down and look back, you can say to yourself, I was inspired by my pediatrician, and kids who are looking on today can be inspired by you and the work that you do, and the viewers who are watching can be inspired by your work. And just come and bring their kids here, come spend some money here so you can grow the business even further. I'll see, my name is Carlton. It was a pleasure being in your corner. I was making stuff, say it again over and over and over, because it's just an amazing facility here. Have a good one,
Thank
Doc.
you for coming to my corner.
Definitely.
Ella,
Under my umbrella. Stop thinking of Estelle.
Watch the exclusive broadcast on CVM as the Jamaica Tourist Board proudly presents the annual Golden Tourism Awards ceremony. This prestigious event is dedicated to honoring tourism workers who have served 50 years or more in the industry. In addition to recognizing long-standing contributions, we will also highlight hotel partners who have played a pivotal role in the growth of the industry. Tune in Wednesday, February 19 at 8 p.m. and be part of the celebration of these golden achievements.
Wagwan people, it's episode 4, and